Hey there friends, in this video we are going to tour a beautiful European city zoo by an absolute legend of the game, and that is ZSHPlays Bellemont Zoo. This zoo is filled with both classic habitats and very modern habitats, combining the unique feel of a European city zoo from the old times with a new, modern but still realistic design. I am absolutely impressed by this zoo and I'm honored to be able to tour it for you. Join me. ZSHPlays, who is, in my opinion, an icon of the Planet Zoo community. Pretty much the best YouTuber around when it comes to Planet Zoo content, and an amazing creator who I have followed along for many years and who has been an inspiration to me and many others, I believe. And he has created this wonderful city zoo, which was created back in the 1850s, but has received a considerable facelift, of course, since then. This is based in a city map, which I will show you later at the end of the video. What's around the zoo is equally as insane as what's in it. But yeah, we get this very, like, almost low-key entrance. But I like the minimalist tone. I like, this is a trademarked thing of ZSHPlays, by the way. The entrance here is made of those bronze plinths. A great touch there already. You'll see so many amazing things here in this zoo. We get this wonderful zoo tickets entrance, wonderful entrance, and we are going to head straight in. I'm going to do this tour as a visitor, so the first run will be just me visiting the zoo as if I were doing it in real life. And if I miss something, then that's just the natural result of me touring the zoo, and I will zoom out at the end and check out things that I missed. But this is the entrance here. We get wonderful, beautifully designed lockers here, back storage. Already the attention to detail is amazing, an amazing sign, and yeah, you can already see some of the sightlines here, that wonderful building that we'll be visiting, and we get this map here, and yeah, I'm almost distracted already of where to look first. A wonderful little scene here. I mean, the whole zoo is like this. It's amazing. I've been a huge fan of him for a very long time. So let's head straight to the first habitat right over here. This is the African penguin. Let's let this guy out of the box. This is the African penguin, a very good entrance habitat for sure. I love the touch with the slightly green water, very realistic, and of course the wonderful sightline of that dome behind it. That will absolutely be part of our plans. So we're going to head up there with my computer pushing 13 frames per second at the moment. But it's a very wonderful atmospheric habitat to start us off for the African penguin. Pretty much one of my favorite animals around. I love these guys so much. So yeah, and also love their little babies. A wonderful opening to the zoo, and would you just look at that scenery surrounding the zoo as well. This is an amazing atmosphere for sure. So that is the African penguin. We're going to take this route, and I hope that if I follow these things, we're going to head to South America first and eventually head to Asia, and then I think right over there is the African section and sort of European. We'll see. We'll just follow along and see what we see. I followed the construction of this zoo, but I don't know the layout that well. But here we get, with this wonderful background of the actual city, the bush dog. A wonderful pretty vertical, well, what am I saying, vertical? Very stretched out habitat here for the bush dog, whom I also recently built for. Wonderful as well. And just look at all the cool little details that you have here. Those fences in the back, those bushes, the wonderful flowers here, that curved little surface right over here. And yeah, I think if I had to say what stands out to ZSHPlays for me, it's he has a very definitive style to him that returns in all of his zoos. The way he works with architecture and what am I looking for? Which word? The color scheme and the architecture. There's like a signature style to him. The way he uses stone and concrete. Amazing stuff. So yeah, the bush dog, all of these signs you'll see all throughout the zoo are unique. And yeah, I think this wonderful dome-looking area is a self-contained area, and if I go in here, I'll just go on a loop and head back to the exit. Here you get the giant anteater. Wonderful little step up here to view it. And where is the anteater? We might not get the chance to see it right now. This is a very realistic space, and there you go, there it is. Beautiful animal. Look how lush the plant life is here. You don't get to see the surface at all. It's all just grass. And then at the other end, I didn't quite catch that, is the maned wolf. Also a very lush habitat here. I think I caught one of them there. That's a very cute little design. Hollowed out tree trunk with those bark pieces. And there you get one of those maned wolves. Look at him and all the frames per second that you have going on. There you go. From Amazon to Andes. Andes? I don't know. But it's a wonderful entrance all the same. The Andes Mountains, the Andes. Probably the Andes, right? We get a triple door sort of situation here. Would you look at this? This is such a wonderful little area, right? Even with the speaker here, this feels like such a real place. You can just imagine the warmth here as you're standing here. Anyway, let's walk. Oh my God, into a whole new world. Look at this. This is beautiful. Look at those monkeys. Look at the fog here, the netting, the giant glass above us. What an amazing impression this makes. Let's say we're going to head counterclockwise. Log bridge adventure. Please stay on the logs, do not enter the water. Oh my God. This is usable. Oh, is this like a guest experience kind of thing? What was it called? Animal experience? This is actually usable. This is so cool. Oh my God. This is so cool. The guests can actually go there. Honestly, if I was in a zoo like this, I would probably not actually head in here, because I would be kind of scared of the animals. I love animals, but I also wanna respect them and their personal space. But that is so cool. I'll have to re-watch the video, because maybe I missed this one as to what magic is at play here. But let's head back here. Look at the planting. So lush. Is this also traversable by the animals? I believe it is, yeah. They can actually use this whole space here. I'm loving the vibes. What a set piece to start this with. The sun hitting just right, the netting, the fog, that giant tree. Is that a custom tree? It's the Wimba tree. I should have known. Yeah, what else is here? A wonderful. I can't get over this dome, by the way. This looks like such a wonderful, warm, inviting tropical space. What do we have back here? This is a sloth habitat, not a walkthrough habitat, it looks like, but a very heavily, densely planted sloth habitat, which I appreciate. You know, I think I appreciate just making these walkthrough habitats into actual, just like exhibits. And look at the wonderful. I think the fog is colored differently, or am I mistaken? but it just adds such a dense vibe that looks like the forest goes on forever. Absolutely gorgeous. Fantastic work. This looks like implied staff area, right? I don't think, yeah, we're not supposed to be in here. We head up this slope to get a view here of what is this gonna be? The Andean bear, the spectacled bear. Oh my god, the fog is really working overtime here to make this look atmospheric. But look at that mound of moss and rock. This is just dripping with atmosphere, absolutely. That tire hanging from those chains, very tough, powerful looking climbing rig. And it's actually heading to its backstage there. But this is so good. The shadows hitting just right. Fantastic. And I think, yeah, I think from Amazon to Andes we are actually climbing to a higher elevation and viewing this this animal, which does live in a, not very tropical region like this. Alright, and is there something to look at here? It's just some food and, oh my god. How is this made? New world door. Is this the door just sunken into the rock? That is, look at, guys, you have to love something like this. It's like the door sunken into a rock, I believe, making it look like the door is carved into, made of the same material as, that is amazing. That's such a brilliant touch. I don't think I've seen someone else do that before. If you have, or if you know someone who have, get in the comments and prove me wrong. Anyway, what a wonderful experience. Let's continue. This is gonna be a long tour. If you followed my tours previously, you know that I do long tours because I love zoos as much as I love planet zoos. I'm just acting like I'm in a real zoo. Anyway, wonderful signage here. Very atmospheric. Yeah, my computer will have some issues with this zoo at some points because the piece count here is insane. We just went to 4 frames per second there. Maybe I should have closed the zoo to guests. But yeah, I hope you can still appreciate the experience here. This wonderful city backdrop just over the wall there. I wonder what it looks like. Look how detailed this is. I'll get back to you in the description if this was made by ZSHPlays himself. But look at this is absurd. I know I told you that I was going to look at this later, but the piece count of the things behind the zoo is already crazy, and then just add what's in it. All right, a wonderfully designed. What is this? This is so beautiful. Man. Some people are just playing this game on a whole other level. Did I miss an animal here? Did I miss a sign or something? Or is this just like... Yeah, this is a staff area. No animal. Alright. So it seems like a butterfly house is coming right up, and this is probably just like staff area or what's the word? Restrooms, but even that has so much atmosphere. I think, guys, for my next project, if you care at all, I want to do another more realistic city zoo. But guys, look at this wonderful. If there's one thing this creator is known for, is I really love this Tecton Zoo, but also his recreation of the London Zoo, and he has these glass houses down to a T. Look at this. It is the butterfly exhibit, but it has been added to with so much plants, and he made this straight path look like it was actually like more curved and chaotic, and this has so much atmosphere. You can, and yeah, absolutely wonderful. You even get these educational flaps. That is so good. You know, educational flaps, you might not know, you know, like something, there's a question here and an answer and underneath it or something like it. And I think, yeah, this is it. This is a wonderful, what's the word, like a cocoon? Is it like called a pupa, the butterfly? But so good. And then those roots, oh man. Just bloody brilliant. Absolutely. And it looks like we are leaving South America behind. Let's grab something from this food truck if we can. And we are heading into a more Asian section. This is absolutely a video that I really loved, so I already know what's coming up here. And I'm very honored to show it to you. Also, something that I love seeing ZSHPlays do is create these like very custom looking sculptures and statues and carvings. This is a lot of pieces are involved in this little thing. And yeah, it really pays off, right? This is just a wonderful looking thing. There's so much going on here, and then the ivy and the planting around it. Wonderful. Dripping with atmosphere. Anyway, this is, as it has been clearly announced by that sign, the elephant habitat. And I do think this is the Bornean elephant. It is the Indian elephant. Right. Anyway, with the houses behind it, that is just absolute realism down to a T, right? I've been to plenty of city zoos in my time, and this is just kind of what you expect, right? Elephants, and then just people's houses there. Can you imagine the rent of living there with a morning view of the elephant yard of your local zoo? Amazing. The elephant house back there looks so good. Look at that wall with the intricate wood design. He has those hollow logs for enrichment there. The water there. Very cool looking rocks back there. Is that what is that made of? All right, the CMang sculpture. I've seen someone do that before. It might have been ZSHPlays, but yeah. Amazing. Is something at the other end? Just some cool scenery. Some cool statues. Yeah. And there you get a gate. Looks like to a second yard, perhaps for the male or for separation. But those rocks just placed perfectly. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Alright, so if we check out this Eurasian steppe blackbuck and the macaques. Look at the signpost. Wonderful. Even the lamps are decorated. This is, you know, it's these things that separates, you know, the plebs with the actual gods of this game, right? Just adding these things to lampposts, adding these rocks to the side of your path. Oh, computer was having some trouble there. Alright, I don't want to miss anything, but I feel like going to the left will pay off here. This is the lion-tailed macaque. Dripping with atmosphere. I keep saying that, but this is just such a vibe, right? This feels like a real zoo in so many ways. And it's all those little things, like this planter in front of the glass, and then the almost eye-level viewing of the macaques. These are things that real zoos do. These are things that, when you're building a habitat, don't always come to mind. Because the actual game itself doesn't really help you in creating a realistic zoo. You have to go through a lot of hoops to build a realistic zoo in this game, because the basic tools pretty much encourage you to just build, you know, rectangular barriers on grass fields. But this feels like a real place to me. Look at this beautiful Absolutely beautiful temple wall. So many pieces have gone into this. From old packs, from new packs. It is so intricate. It puts a lot of what I've done to shame. Even this viewing window is beautiful at this indoor section. I mean, man, this is fantastic. It really is. Those walls, those windows, great stuff, great stuff. Clearly well researched too, like in tune with the actual environments that you're creating with these shrines, with offerings. And we get the wonderful black buck here. All females I'm looking at. Where are the iconic males with their cool horns? Maybe this is a bachelor habitat, who knows? Where's the male hanging out? Perhaps he's indoors. Oh, that's cool, those electrical posts. That's such a... Is that supposed to be like a train carriage? Is that the idea? There's the male. But I love those electrical... I don't think electrical post is the word, but yeah, we get another macaque view here. Wonderful. So we've gone full circle here. What do you think I should do now? I think the rhino is a bit of a self-contained habitat here. I remember it having this wonderful set piece with this like decorated tree that you see coming up. So that's what we're going to do. So the Indian rhino gets like its own little showcase here really. And that's where we're headed. A lot of statues, lots of banners. Let's head up here first to this amazing tree. Such a vibe. I love the decoration here. And we get a grand overview here of one of the iconic, there it is, resting with the elephants visible in the back. Sightlines, guys. It's magic when it works. When you pull it off, when you arrange your habitats like this and you get the rhino sleeping and at the same time you get another view with the elephants there and just the density of what you're looking there. Like the fence, habitat, fence, another fence, houses. Brilliant. It really is. And then you get that sight line. Perhaps there's other stuff I'm missing. And I think we get another view here into their backstage, right? Or their shelter. There might be, with their own little bath. And those posts looks like a lot of rhino habitats would be in real life. Amazing. Really, really amazing. Alright, so let's head to the Eurasian steppe. I think this is a point where I could really start to miss things. But we get these really cool designed. Love that statue. So as fitting for a steppe, immediately the vegetation becomes like more sparse and you get more of an open feel. And again, that's also something important in a zoo is to transport your guests to another place. Play around with vegetation, how much there is, how little there is. Again, things that I still could stand to learn from. The markhor lives here. A classic markhor habitat, very rocky with steep elevation. Because these guys, they live in my local Antwerp city zoo as well. And yeah, they just climb the whole time. They don't need trees or plants really. And also the animals in Planet Zoo are very well adapted to climbing pretty steep environments. A wonderful large group here of the markhor. That guy is also very excited. And then sort of a central habitat here is we could go around this way as well, is the Przewalski horse, which I believe is the actual pronunciation for it, or I might have been misled by someone online. So that sound is Przewalski? I don't know. But yeah, you get more sightlines here. That big glass house, that aviary back there. And then just that iconic, and if I'm not mistaken, they came with the buffalo grass in the same pack, right? The conservation pack introduced these grasses to the game, and they changed building for Planet Zoo forever, in my honest opinion. The grasses present in the conservation pack absolutely changed the game, because the density you can achieve there in what otherwise would look very, very boring is just priceless. Alright, we're still going to stick to the left side here. Again, if we miss something, I'd rather discover that at the end instead of awkwardly backtracking and boring you with you know, being confused, because I'm already confused enough. But the palace cat has an amazing, very, very big habitat to itself. This is very big for a very small cat, but I love it. The mesh here with those cool circular structures is amazing. And you get the cat, I see one back there, very well camouflaged against those rocks. There's in all likelihood a second one somewhere. But yeah, this is so cool. This is such a big habitat. If I saw this in a real zoo, I would take so many pictures, because that is such a cool space for an animal that deserves. You know, you often see small cats like this, for example, in you know, something only a tenth the size of this, but they deserve to have a space like this, to be honest. And then we get the takin here in a similar habitat, but a bit different to the markhor. Another wonderful animal in addition to the game. I think this is a very unknown animal to a lot of people. It looks sort of like a, you know, kind of like a wildebeest, bull, moose kind of guy. Very interesting animal. Look at that custom feeder, by the way. Great stuff. All right, more horsies. And I think if we head down here, what is next? I'm just going to check just to be sure, because I saw this like yurt here, and I think it's enterable. Is yurt the word? Like those Mongolian tents? I know that mostly from playing Ghost of Tsushima, to be honest. I think we're not going to head here. I think that leads us back to sort of the entrance area. But this is something I want to enter, right? This sort of Mongolian. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is nice with like artwork from... Is this like the construction of the habitat? Is that the idea? Also very real zoo-like. What a cool picture. Like this sort of like exposition room where I imagine if you're visiting with your parents, they insist on entering this and reading all the signs, and you're like, come on, this is boring. Let's go to the other animals, and your parents just read the whole thing. Or maybe that's just a Yelbu experience. I remember going to like museums and my parents would read, obviously, you know, being adults who could read, they would read all the signs and I would be bored, like, come on, let's go look at some interesting moving stuff. We are full sprint into this aviary, which I believe is not for Asian birds, but for this is the American flamingo, right? This is a wonderful aviary. At this end we have the scarlet ibis. This is these are actual sculptures by I believe by Drac, and we get some bird poop. And here we have the flamingo in a beautiful habitat. It's like kind of like understated, but this is realism. This is what a city zoo with a big budget would have for the flamingos. And then you get this custom fence with those tied together bamboo, and even like the edges here to the island. All of this is just touches that us mortals can only dream to achieve. It's like, it's things that real zoos do, but you have to think about it when building your own zoo. And if I think about many of the zoos that I've done, you know, it leaves a lot to be desired, to be honest. So, I believe that's Asia pretty much covered, and we are heading towards Africa and the Madagascar house. I pray to the Planet Zoo gods I'm not missing anything. Let's say goodbye to this wonderful horse who is falling asleep and move on. Alright, let's not sprint too much. Alright, this looks like a actual bonobo habitat. I see there's a boxed. Let's unbox all animals just to be sure. What I appreciate here is again like the density of things. You have a barrier, rocks, another barrier, a moat, kind of another barrier, and this very cool structure with those nests, right? I'm building a bonobo habitat myself, by the way, and I have been adding those like nests here, but the way they're supported here, I might just steal that. If you see that in my own, if you see that in my next upcoming video, then you know who I stole it from. This piece though, what is this? Maypole rid. Oh right, you know how like very often in great ape habitats they have like those fire hoses. That's a really smart use of that. So yeah, a very active group of bonobos here. You get a giraffe poking its head there into the sight line, but just a very active bunch of these wonderful, peaceful apes of the African rainforest. So we have our choice of where to go. Just to check, this I seem to remember is the actual entrance to the bonobos. And so we're going to look at it here. Very cool, custom made, like chaotic, colorful habitat for an animal that honestly is very, very like underrated in the Planet Zoo world. I know their base game, their models are and everything, but these are really cool apes. They have very unique behaviors, and this is a wonderful habitat for them. It really is. I love that their moat is almost, you know, unless you really come up here, it almost feels like they are, you know, on the same plane as you with nothing interrupting it. But yeah, wonderfully dense habitat for these amazing creatures. Love it. And yeah, I think I'm stealing this to some degree, because I'm building for bonobos. Is it bonobo or bonobo? In Dutch you would say bonobo, but perhaps it's different in the English way. Very cool rock wall here. I don't know where to go at this point, because there's a lot of choices, but I think, again, this is just like an entrance kind of arch to the African section, right? So we're not heading here just yet to that section. I mean, we have the lions coming up. Actually, no, guys, sorry. We are heading here first. We'll get to the lions later. Around the bonobos, we get to the Rift Valley of Kenya. How many species can you spot? This is a... let's check the indoor building for the bonobos first. Yes. Very realistic with those like things up at the ceiling. The many types of floor covering here, soil and straw. That is exactly what is sort of prescribed in keeping these animals. Can they actually get out of here, or is this just... yeah, they can. Alright, sorry for entering your habitat. Alright, and then we get a very, very big savanna habitat. Not through here. Whoops. Ooh. I feel a bit drunk. Where am I supposed to go? I don't think I'm supposed to go here. Because that seems to be... Let's go up here. Alright. Be patient with me, guys. I'm touring this along with you. And yeah, I will get confused with the... This is the lions. And then, of course, the sight line here is wonderful. We'll see it in a better way, I'm sure. But wonderful lion section with those bird, like sort of cautionary markings here on the glass to make sure they don't splatter their faces into it. Wonderfully planted area there. A very low fence for the lion, and that is because there's actually water and a high wall protecting us from them. And then you get another, you know, it's I have to keep repeating it, guys. Sightlines, planning ahead. In my own African zoo, I really did not plan ahead, and there's so much chaos and so much potential that I didn't use. So yeah, looking at something like this, I really could have planned Bolo Bolo better, because this is just so cool. Such cool zoo design that you see in real zoos, but Planet Zoo creators just love to go for it. Because it really does feel like... And it's just a lot of playing with terrain and a lot of double checking when you're building, whether you can see the separation there. Alright, we are not headed there, I think, although... No, we're not headed there. We are headed here. Because we need to see that savanna habitat from up close. Just a little break, I'm going to grab a drink. And with a drink, I do mean something to drink. Anyway, guys, this is also what I would look like if I were to visit a zoo with 5 kids of this age walking around. I mean, that is also the face I would have at the end of the day. Right, anyway, let's leave this poor woman. Okay, she changed up very fast. Maybe it was just a little bad moment there. Anyway, we get this awesome savanna habitat coming up. The game is struggling, the computer, to have a good look at it. There's a lot to be seen here. We have, I think there's an even better way to see it up ahead. And it's almost a shame to look away. Oh, there's so much stuff back there. We still have a lot to see. But I think there's a better viewing coming up here, because you have this very cool dig habitat right in front of the large savanna. We have wildebeest, we have, I believe, these springbok. We have warthogs, zebras, a lot of giraffes. I wonder if there's more in there. And then you get this cute little... Look at this dainty little wonderful creature. And just look at this cool custom barrier, by the way. Right? It's in the details. It's in the little concrete here. Yes! Yes! Yes, yes, yes. I was waiting for this one. Guys, the pygmy hippo, in case you don't know, is easily one of my favorite animals in the world, and also in the game, to the point that I refused to download the remaster, because even though it's kind of cartoony, it's very cartoony, you'll have to agree. I just am in love with the model of the pygmy hippo. My local zoo, Antwerp, the Antwerp Zoo, recently had to say goodbye to its hippo and have replaced... Oh my god. I'm interrupting myself. I have replaced their larger hippo with a pygmy hippo, and I couldn't be happier. But look at this. The atmosphere here, the stripy shadows, the darkness of the wood, the flooring here. You can just imagine the smell of this building. You know what I mean, right? You can just imagine Also very realistic, like double habitats, because these guys actually don't really like to be living together. But this is such a, you know, look at that detail here. The switch to operate this gate, and then those pictures in the back. This is absolutely just a real place, right? This is what a real pygmy hippo habitat looks like. And I also appreciate the fact that the whole time we've been in here, it's just there. That is also very realistic zoo behavior. You just stand here and you take some pictures of the behind of the pygmy hippo. You wait for another 30 seconds to see if it moves, and then you go like, okay, I guess we saw the pygmy hippo. Is it gonna move? I don't think it is. Maybe it's literally stuck there. Anyway, it does seem to have an exterior habitat, and I think we missed it. So let's head up to this very cute viewing window here. We know that it's inside, by the way, so there's really no reason for us to check here. There's a guy there, but he's not that guy. We don't need to see him. Anyway, let us continue. I think this is clearly beckoning us to join here. And then I believe we get a view of this. And then we'll head up here and make sure we get another look at the pygmy hippo. Have a little break at the restroom, and then I believe this is the way to go, unless this draws us in. Anyway, I'm just kind of talking to myself here. Yes, this is the final view. You made it to this part, and you get a big old overview. Also, just a good trick in building every time we saw this habitat, we saw like a cross section of it, right? No, I don't think cross section is the way I'm trying to describe it. You saw like a section of it, looking at it from there to there, and then at the grand final view you see the entirety of the habitat sort of condensed from all the way back here. And that is just good design. That is just good design and a way to think about it. You get another cool look at this aviary. You even get the bonobos there with their island, and even the lions there. Again, it works both ways. It also looks, wow, that is quite the jump. It also looks like the lions from here. It works both ways, and you just have to appreciate that. It's not easy to pull off. Amazing rock mountain there, really dwarfing the wildebeest back there. Is there a species in here that we missed? Thompson's gazelle, excuse me, it was the Thompson's gazelle. And I think we get another unique section here. This man, wonderful man here, will assist us in the giraffe feeding should the time of day be there. I will say though, guys, and that's just on me, I really hesitate to put this many different species in one habitat, because I feel like in the real world they would sort of stick together, and you would have like the zebras would be over here and the giraffes would be over here. But in Planet Zoo they just sort of run crisscross through each other, and I just generally, you know, that's where it takes me out of the game, sort of, because it makes it, whoa, sorry guy, sorry to get into your personal space like this. Yeah, he looks happy about it either way. But yeah, that's why I try to stick to 2 or 3 mixed species at most, just for my own personal sake, even though large mixed habitats like the African one back there are cool. It just doesn't work the way it would in real life. And you get a wonderful, look at this stupid little guy. Look at just the dumb little smile of this model, and it looks so shiny and wet. Look at this view. The moss here creeping up oh, there's a little baby. There's a baby. It looks a bit awkward like this, but look at this. And then the beautiful planting behind it, and the guy checking up on the baby. Wonderful planting here. Wonderful mud wall. This whole thing. I love it. If there was an actual baby pygmy hippo in the zoo in Antwerp, I would run to there, take my daughter there, and go show her the baby hippo. Sure, I'll take my son too, but at this moment he's only a few months old. He wouldn't really... Oh yeah, I remember this. This has the mixed habitat with the cheetah and the black rhinoceros. Which is also a viable mix in the real world. It's been done in several zoos, because obviously cheetah does not prey, does not have a rhinoceros as its prey animal. Even here, by the way, you get this sight line. It just works, right? The elevation, it just works. All of this has been thought out. Wonderful planting here. I do wonder where the cheetahs are. Because I keep getting distracted by these other... What is this? Sorry for getting distracted, but we get this random house that I almost missed. This is... Right, this is the African leopard, I seem to recall. Very realistic in the sense that, there we go, African leopards are shy and reclusive. So very often in a zoo you'll see them... Yeah. You're lucky if you see them, right? There is like a notorious snow leopard habitat in a Belgian zoo that I visit very often. It's been there for as long as I remember, so that's 30 years something. And I've seen like only the tail or the ear of the snow leopard, and I've been there a lot. And I think that little glimpse of the African leopard that we got back there might be the only time where you see it. I don't know. Oh, that's so cool with the wiring here. Very modern zoo technique that you see more and more. That was quite a jump. Ah, maybe if we head here now, we'll get an actual look at this African leopard. It's being mysterious, but there it is. It's gonna do another huge jump. There we go. That's the leopard for us. Awesome. Wonderful shaded viewing area with this cool log separating it. Amazing. I'm glad we got distracted there. And there is the actual cheetah, or at least one of them. Look at this. I know I keep repeating myself, but this is just mastery of the game. Standing here, like this all blends together. Those bushes, that grass, those bushes. It just really works, and it's those little things that actual zoos do that, again, it takes visiting a zoo like this, personally for me, to be reminded of what actual real zoos do. Like this sort of planter behind the fence and then the wall going downwards. It's what real zoos do. But you just have to be reminded by wonderful creators like this, that, oh yeah, that is actually the way it works. Amazing stuff. Alright, if I remember well, I think we have sort of a baboon habitat coming right up. Look at that cute house back there. Is that part of the zoo, or is this the edge of the zoo? Ocelots and otters, that's more the center of the zoo. So I think baboons, this is wonderful educational overview of where we are looking. The Great Rift Valley, the Horn of Africa is here, right? If I'm not mistaken. So this is the indoor house of the Hamadryas baboon. A lot of them are in here because they live in huge groups. I love that circular window up there. Those swinging ropes. There is a whole bunch of them in here. And my computer is struggling with this, I will say. But look at this beautiful curvature in the window. Why is this rock so... I don't know why that rock suddenly struck me, but something about that rock. I don't know why I had to click it. Anyway, this is it, the wonderful baboon habitat. They very often are depicted living in these rocky environments. And you just have to appreciate just the rock work that went into this, the different colorations. Also like the implied footholds. They can get up there via a rope at the back, I've noticed. And also a funny little touch is these guys. These are supposed to represent the Nubian ibex, I believe, living together with the baboons here. And a funny thing is the traversable terrain of these guys, they can actually only walk that part. But just in terms of sightlines, look at this perfect, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can see it for yourself. This is a perfect setup here. Those cool ropes and that sort of slanted rock wall back there. Amazing design. And then just that ibex back there. I think it's depressed because it can't actually move down to the rest of the habitat. So yes, that is the Hadrian's baboon, the Great Rift Valley. Alright, let's follow the natural progression of the path here. What lives down there might be a meerkat habitat. The odds are very much yes, meerkats. Classic habitat with the low fence, the glass barrier, the termite hill. If you're lucky, you can see some baboons while you're looking at the meerkats. Great stuff. And a little look at their indoor habitat as well. And then this might be the fennec fox. Oh, this is just more meerkats. Wow, look at this. You get the hot wire, you get the rusty thing, you get the poles. So cool. Very well thought out. Also, by the way, guys, I pretty much doubt that I doubt that you're not subscribed to ZSHPlays. If you aren't subscribed to him, go do it. Go check out his channel. Amazing series, amazing videos. He's been doing this for a very long time. Not only are his builds amazing, but just his editing. But he also has some zoo tours. One of which was of the Singapore Zoo, and also just a great video that I enjoyed watching a lot. And now I actually am getting a bit confused. But this is like an aviary that we're going to see later on. Where are we? We are here. So, we have gone here. And I think we are heading on our way back here. And we have to remember that at the entrance we have this section, which might be a bit of a maze. This building. And we have to make sure we remember to go in there. I might have to pull off some editing to make sure I visit all of this stuff. But we are moving away from Africa. As you see, we did it sort of in the wrong order. But with the ibex back there. Fantastic stuff. We're leaving Africa behind. We have a... That's just staff area, alright. So, oh, I actually got stuck on the arrowwood, which is one of the most annoying plants to build with. I love arrowwood, but the hitbox for this plant is wild. Yeah, I think we're doing zones in the wrong order now, but you know, that happens in a zoo as well. This is with a wonderful backdrop once again, a view of the giant otter. I know some fans of the giant otter, I know some detractors. I think they're kind of menacing looking, but also very interesting animals. And they get a very cool underwater viewing here. And I appreciate the water sort of being colored like this dirty, ugly green. Really ups the ante on the realism here. And also sort of the eye level experience here with the otters, making sure that their creepy little faces are in close proximity to yours. They are very strange guys. I love the bamboo forest going on here. Great touch. Yeah, we are sort of doing it in the wrong order, but I hope you don't mind too much. Look at this custom feeding platform here. Great stuff. Did we miss something here? Ocelot. Shall we visit it now? I think we'll hit it up later, because it's another great place. But just look at the planting, guys. I'm sort of sprinting at this point, but just the planting and the density. Everywhere you look, there's something to see. It's always interesting and it's always beautiful, and the right choice of plants and trees. The care that has gone into this. Alright, we are probably going to miss some stuff here, so I think this is one of those zones that I'm going to have to come back to later. So, this beautiful rocky planted area, and we get wonderful views here of the amphibians, excuse me. We get these salamanders. I believe this is the salamanders, right? I think so. Look at the way these rocks are integrated into the path. The flowers. Wow, I love this so much. There we go. This is some more frogs. Let's see if we can find one. There's a couple. Yes. Beautiful, a beautiful area. Look at this beautiful environment. So much love and care has gone into this. I think I missed something there. I think that's the lynx actually. Life in cold blood. We are definitely missing things, but I want to head into this because seems like we'll have a monitor here, a caiman, some axolotls. Where is the entrance? Does this building have an entrance? PC is struggling with this zone. We're very close to the entrance here actually. But here is the entrance with the wonderful, wonderful sign here with the eye, an in-game picture. And that font also. The door is already ajar for us. Beautiful, beautiful roof. Oh my god. Beautiful roof. And the way the light hits the wall and everything. And you get the, what is this? The boa constrictor. Back here is the water monitor. Here again with the very cool like rock door. Is there a second one in here, or is it just that one? Yes. Oh man, this is so cool. Look at this beautiful sign. Oh man, I love this so much. We get... Yeah, one thing, sorry guys, I was a bit struck by speechlessness, but one thing that ZSHPlays also excels in is the way he plays around with exhibit boxes, because they are kind of large and unwieldy, but he really makes them look interesting by making them resemble aquariums more often, and this really, you know, because hidden behind this is still the very big box, but it really makes it look more like you would see in a real zoo environment, and that is just such a cool way of using them, and I think really something to learn from. And then you get this beautiful caiman. Look at this, the lamps on the ceiling there, the beautiful rock wall, and then just the mysterious vibe here of these slow moving reptiles, the cold-blooded reptiles. The sleek floor here, so with sort of the blue shine to it. Amazing stuff. Oh, just wanted to make sure you all saw that little cute thing. That is so cool. That's my screenshot of that's my thumbnail. Maybe not, but very nice touch. All right, let's leave live cold blood behind. Even look how beautiful this is. Like leaving the room, and wow, your eyes have to adjust to the brightness. I think there's some stuff that we missed back there, because this is the entrance, right? So let us run all the way back here to make sure we see the lynx, and I think there's a whole bunch of Eurasian animals back there that I absolutely want to make sure that we see. So we head back through the amphibians, dodging artfully the keepers. And we're going to head here to the Iberian. Iberian, is it the... I don't think it's the Iberian. It's the lynx in either case. I'm thinking Iberian because of a mod, I'm pretty sure. It's the Eurasian lynx, of course. Cool, these wonderful viewing windows here, where if you get lucky, you can get a cool glimpse. There it goes, and then I believe we can be a little child here and see the lynx there. Do we get a... We're probably going to get another view into it. Love this maze-like structure. Look at this hill. This natural looking hill with these rocks and everything. I don't know why this hill. It's just the very careful, terrain manipulation going on here. This wonderful water separating us from those deer. Fantastic. Still want to check out the lynx. Yeah, they have their own little hiding cave. Again with a beautiful, beautiful design here. With all the rocks and everything. All those pieces involved here. The awesome font, the planting. Mwah! It is fantastic. Anyway, the lynx inside here. We get a less obstructed view of this amazing creature. There's two... Oops, oopsie. Look, even the roof is wonderful. Even though you can't even see it as a visitor. Let's get back down there. So yeah, we get our view there of the lynx. Yes, the wild boar is here, and I think we'll check out this later on. But this is the wild boar in a suitably more sparse, rugged environment. Because, realistically, these animals destroy any semblance of foliage in your habitat. Also, wonderful model. The game isn't really showing it because, it's struggling. But those models are beautiful. If you look at them up close with some good graphics going on. fantastic. Great vibes here. We get a bee hotel here. Another look at the deers. The deers? The deer? The deers? The deer? That leads us back to Africa through that cool house. We still haven't seen the Madagascar house. But this is the Madagascar house, right? That's glasshouse. So, the sea lions. If I remember, this is one of the last ones that was built for this zoo. And it's a beautiful one with a wonderful color scheme. And this is a great touch with the, the LED strip here. Lighting this room is such an... man, okay, we'll have to visit it like this. Unless... Yeah, we'll just have to go standard mode for a bit. And look at it like this. Okay, wow. Excuse me, guys. We'll just for this, take a bit of a bird's eye view of this wonderfully designed sea lion habitat. You get many levels. This very realistic beach, the wonderfully curved wall here with the glass barrier heading through it. This little island in the middle, the waterfall here with the beautifully stacked rocks. Again with the cool door here. Really good. All right. So we are now actually at the back of the Madagascar house, right? This is it. It's pretty big. And Madagascar is a habitat that I've seen ZSHPlays tackle in many ways. We're actually going to head back to the entrance and then approach the Madagascar house sort of in the way that it's going to look best. So this middle area of the zoo, I think, speaks the most to its origins of being an old city zoo with 19th century origins. And now, there's even a few habitats here that I want to show to you, because this let's make sure we check this out, because look at this. Just look at it yourself. I don't even need to speak about this, but the font here, the planting on this building, the decals making it look rugged, the door, the umbrellas, the candle, the fonts, the vibes here. This is stupendous. Such a beautiful environment. And then the playground here. Again, I go check out ZSH channel and workshop. Not everything here will have been made by him. That is fair, right? But just the act of putting it all together, then, in case it wasn't. Don't you wish this was usable by actual guests, by kids? If there's something I wish for Planet Zoo 2, it is guests have more to do in your zoo beyond just walking, right? That's something you hope. Is this an actual interior? Yes, it is. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright. We even have like a look into their kitchen here. Fan-bloody-tastic. It even goes on here. The terrace is pretty huge. We have a very cool... Oh, there's actually a gharial here. Wow, there's... Whew. Okay, so just to remind myself, this is where we came in, right? Yeah, so let's make sure we spot every animal in here. So Cafe Bellemont has a gharial habitat close to it, with the backdrop of these cool city buildings. Wonderful use of the signs. Again, the fonts at play here in this zoo. Wonderful fence here. And yeah, they're here. There they go. One of the most unique you know, or I would probably say the most unique crocodilian out there is the gharial. Very much threatened with extinction, unfortunately. But yeah, really cool animals. And I think, wow, I want to take so many pictures of this zoo. There's so many beautiful spots like this. The bamboo sticks are so nice. And then it's just wonderful. The lighting is also popping off in this particular space. And here we get a beautiful eye level underwater viewing here of the gharial. I hope there's one. Yes, there is a female here. And then the backdrop picture there. The lighting, the skylight. And then the bronze texture here. Leading us to the zoo shop. Oh man, wow. I've seen a lot of these videos, but I forgot maybe. But being here in you know, between parentheses, in person and seeing this, look at this absolutely gorgeous building. It's so beautiful. I'm in love with this place. The curve and then the exhibits integrated into it and the colors and everything. It's also the exit. It's classic, of course, right? Putting the exit to your zoo in the shop so that your kids get a chance to whine to buy to buy a stuffed animal. You know, who am I kidding? I also have a lot of stuffed animals in my my adult collection. A beautiful gift shop here, very sleek with this cool little tree design that you see. And you get another view into the skinks there, these exits. Very nice, like sleek, shiny floors. The lighting up there, the roof, I mean the ceiling. Beautiful shop. There goes the frog again. I think we have seen almost everything the zoo has to offer. There is a tanuki coming up, I'm sure. And we still have to check that out. And then I'm going to zoom out together with you to check out the whole thing from bird's eye view. Because it's one thing seeing a zoo from explorer mode, but seeing it the way the builder not intended, but seeing it the way the builder built it, and just in general gives you a whole new appreciation of the work that's gone into it. And also, I want to show you just, you know, why my PC is struggling so much, because the environment that we're working with. Look at this rustic little peaceful garden here with one of the very latest additions to the game here, the Japanese raccoon dog or tanuki, and they get their very thematic peaceful little garden here with sort of softly sloping uphill. I haven't seen them yet. Why did I suddenly forget this was in the game? This is in the game, I should use it. But wow, look at this cute little pond bridge. Where are they though? Are they in here? Maybe they're boxed or something, and I need to release them. Can they climb? Is that what this is saying? Can they actually climb? They might just be indoors here. Look at this beautiful. Look at this beautiful. Yeah, I think that has covered. Yeah, they're all in here. Maybe they can't leave. Maybe just, you know, it's sort of glitching out. Can you guys not get out of here? Ah, you can't. What if I delete this and then put it back? That sometimes helps. Oh, wonder what went wrong here. What if I sink this down a bit? Sort of it does ruin the look for sure. Maybe I shouldn't meddle with your creation, excuse me, but I just... Can you get out now? You cannot, actually. I'm just gonna place you here and get a look at you then. Outdoors. So yes, this is the tanuki in its wonderful garden. And I feel like the title Raccoon Dog is actually a perfect, because this is like sort of a bush dog, fox, raccoon type of animal. And they are, of course, the tanuki is very popular and iconic in Japan. So you can create your own little wonderful. But look at this. The backdrop of those city buildings and then the tanuki is absolutely fantastic. If that is a template, that city template, I might just steal it for my own. Okay, we've seen life in cold blood. I think only one thing remains for us to do, and that is check out. Here you get this beautiful fountain that actually some swans live. Let's head around this fountain with a gorilla shouldered by deer, the gorilla and the lion looking very pleased with themselves. Anyway, I want to approach the Madagascar house sort of as intended with this beautiful grass. You're gonna see what I mean. It has been made to look... Oh, there's a... Alright, there's some stuff I missed. I'm gonna do that after the Madagascar house. There's some stuff I missed. We'll check that out later. But here we go, approaching this 19th century glass house with the peacocks here ruining the lawn with their poop and their diseases. If you've ever had peacocks peafowl in your franchise mode, then you know how disease riddled those birds are. Is riddled the word? Disease ridden? Disease riddled? Anyway, the Madagascar house is coming right up, and what a sight to behold it is. A lot of plants in here are custom made plants and actually blueprints on the workshop. A lot of stuff you'll see here is actually on the workshop. But this Madagascar house is so cool. The fog there with the sunlight hitting it just right is just a stroke of luck. We get the lemurs here, we get the savannahs there. But also just the plants, like exhibiting the unique plant life of this unique island, really. So lush and tropical feeling. Not seeing too many animals at this point. I've only seen 2, but perhaps they're just very well hidden. And I need to be patient about it. But yeah, the plant life here is very well represented. You feel there's a couple of lemurs. Is it just lemurs and savannahs here, or is there something else going on? You know, just have to appreciate. Look at this post being overgrown. And on this side, I seem to recall there is an exhibit. There we have a whole bunch of these crazy monkeys hopping around. And you have a tortoise exhibit. Fantastic, and those really unique looking trees. If we head through this exit of the glass house, we will find, if I recall, a wonderful sort of plaza with these very or no, actually that's not the case. I am mistaken. Quick cut. Alright, it turns out we did miss some stuff here at these restrooms, so quick jump cut, so we head over here. What you're going to see here is very much like classic zoo feel of a classic European, I mean mostly, you know, what I'm used to is, you see with this historical, the monkey cage, dating to the zoo's opening in 1850, this cage held various species of monkey. It remains as a reminder of Bellemont Zoo past. This is a touch I've seen many creators do, is creating this sort of realistic storyline as a nod to, you know, the way that many animals were kept in these 1850s, 1800s environments. Still, I fear that too many animals in the world are kept in, you know, unpleasant circumstances such as this, to be honest. But this is absolutely gorgeous, and you know, maybe the standout of the zoo. It's such a realistic representation of a city zoo, 1900s design, but still updated enough and modern enough to fit the animal living in it now. It houses a solitary ocelot in a lush, beautiful, vibrant little aviary here. You see a lot of birds usually kept in an environment like this, but yeah, I've seen so many habitats like this in my time, but it is so lush and filled with so many plants, and you can just imagine the fun it is to look for and spot the ocelot living in here. It feels like these people know where he's at, so the ocelot is right over here. There we go, well camouflaged. I remember it might have been an ocelot or something like it in I think it was the Artis Zoo in the Netherlands, where it sort of had a where it sort of sprayed through the mesh urine onto my girlfriend. She was very pleased and honored. Alright, there's some other stuff I missed. I'm just going to jump cut there. So yeah, across from these beautiful gardens here, we have this Gibbon Island, and it is something, you know, I'm glad I found out that I missed it, because it is another beautifully designed, very lush environment for this amazing little wow. That is amazing. That is truly amazing. Look at the actual amazingness. That was quite the climbing feat. I always say, if I were to turn into an actual animal, then I would become a gibbon. You know, their physicality, their you know, their idiosyncratic way of living and moving. But look at this. Just look at it. Those like mossy edges of those stones, the woodle in the water, those bushes, with the ivy growing on these things, and then the building over there with them leaving it via these ropes or on foot, as this one seems to contemplate doing, and the netting here should they fall into the water. And then this beautiful indoor habitat, almost equally as lush here, where they would probably be living in a more cold winter time of year. Bloody fantastic, absolutely. And I think then after this there's one more habitat that we missed, and I will jump cut us there. Yeah, we saw this building and we sort of assumed it was part of like the restaurant bistro, but it is actually the koala house. Very classy, old-fashioned kind of style. Clearly a building that was made a long time ago. What is this? Not quite sure what that is. Anyway, let us enter the koala house. Wonderful atmosphere here. And lo and behold, a koala is actually climbing in a Planet Zoo game. You love to see it. We have climbing koalas, guys. We have koalas that are actually doing what koalas do, even though, you know, you still very rarely see them just walking. You know, I understand the way they did it, but you almost could have said that koalas would fit better in those like walkthrough exhibits, kind of like the sloth. Not that you want to walk through a koala exhibit, but when you see a koala in a zoo, they're just hanging in a tree. That's just what they're doing. They just don't move around like this. Especially the babies don't. So yeah, that's why I just don't like building for these guys, is because they just don't behave like the animal. But yeah, this build is very realistic. Very often koala buildings you see have like this reddish floor, because, you know, they don't live on the floor. And yeah, guys, with that wonderfully astute remark, we're going to zoom out. And first of all, I want you to see what was going on behind the scenes here. Just a massive, yeah, like town cityscape. Of course, it's not detailed completely, but even these things that you cannot see, there's lights working here. There's ridiculously detailed stuff going on behind the scenes. You have actual churches here. You have these little cafes with, you would almost expect interiors in here. There's so much going on. These like warehouses, these apartment blocks, beautiful. I mean, wow. Can you just to, it's hard to comprehend that this was made in a zoo game. Look at how far we've come, right? That's why Planet Zoo is so unique, that you can do this. Again, I'll have to look up if ZSHPlays actually made these, or perhaps you can do it yourself. He has indicated in all of his videos who made what and has added blueprints for everything. So yeah, it goes all the way around. You have this park and everything. So many trees. That's why I think I'm kind of proud of my PC that it still runs in double digits as far as the frame rate goes. Yep, yeah, then let's look at the actual zoo here to give you a bit of an overview. This was sort of the South American section with the dome. Looking at it like this makes it look all the more impressive. The beautiful butterfly house here. The elephants, the rhinos. The male elephant, I believe, here. But there's stuff we missed, right? Like the water behind the elephants here is something that you didn't see while visiting. That's the macaque habitat. It looks, you know, that's the kind of curves that you don't really notice when you're there. Here you get the rocky environment, the steppes, the palace cat. Very different in atmosphere. The beautiful gardens here. Is this like achieved by pathing? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's like grass, and then it's like the grass path, making it look like this was done with a lawnmower. But looking at the zoo like this at the end always makes me happy, because you can just imagine having built this and then just looking at your own stuff like, wow, I'm pretty decent at this. I hope ZSHPlays, should you by any chance check out this video, I hope you're proud of yourself, because this really is great. And also there's just stuff that you don't really get to see when you're in explore mode, right? You don't see the entire vision the way you do now. I also love that these bonobos are actually climbing, and then you get to see this whole savannah section, including the stuff that you don't get to see as a visitor. The rhinos here, the cheetah, the baboons. What a wonderful... That is the giant otter. Spectacular. I'm going to struggle with choosing a thumbnail for this zoo because there's so much beauty in here. The Eurasian section here. Like the lynx habitat has so much more to see than we did see. They have a very luxurious environment for themselves. But yeah, guys, this was my tour of this wonderful zoo by ZSHPlays. Go and bombard this channel with love if you haven't already. Check out the whole series. This zoo was 10 months in the making, and every day spent working on this was absolutely worth it. It was an honor to tour this, and I will see you next time for another zoo tour or another build of my own zoo, which at this point feels a bit inferior, but I'm still proud of it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.